Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to do something interesting today. I'm using a Lenormand cloth, with the Lenormand house system to do a grand tableau reading using the Kipper. I think we'll get the best out of both worlds with this method. So anyway, this one is, as you can see in the title, or you will see when I get it uploaded, this is on the New York civil fraud case that is going to trial on October 2nd. So it's starting soon. This is the one that is headed by Letitia James, of course. And she's asking to get back more than $250 million to the state of New York that she believes Trump org stole from the state. Now, it's important to remember this is a civil case. It's not criminal, so nobody's going to be locked up. So using the Kipper, if the imprisonment card, and it will come through because I'm using all the cards, and this is the Card Geeks deck, when it comes through, that will be restriction. Okay, it won't be imprisonment, it'll be restriction. And it's also important to remember Ivanka was dismissed because I guess there was a statute of limitations on her for some reason or another. Probably as to how far back it had been when she was involved in the company, because I think she removed herself once she became his head or whatever. She was major part of Trump administration, so there was that. Okay, so how is this going to go for Trump org? I mean, she's also saying that he inflated his net worth by $2 billion. I remember that. And it's important to remember Alan Weisselberg already had pled guilty, to a bunch of felonies. And the whole company was convicted of tax fraud and fraud-related, I guess, charges. But yeah. And they had a big fat fine. I know it was over $1.5 million, but I can't remember exactly. So there's that, right? And that was in a different Trump org. And that one was criminal, which is the reason Alan Weisselberg went to prison for 5 months. So anyway, how is this going to go for Trump? How's it going to go for Eric and Don Jr.? Of course, we know Ivanka won't be charged. So yeah, okay, let's look at this. Go. See, that's another reason and here's Trump. I love this deck because it's directionally correct. And Chira Marchetti's is just, it's not. I don't know who helped him with the artwork on that one, but if you read directionally, his deck doesn't really work. Especially with all the people cards. Well, I guess it does directionally when you go with the angles. I mean, but still, I like to read directionally on all levels. Like this guy's looking this way, things like that. She's looking that way. And the gent, she's a good lady, the good gent, they look at each other, they're not just staring out into one direction. There are meanings for, ooh, look at that. Probably less of a restriction than we want. Anyway, there are specific meanings when people on the cards look in specific directions. Of course, I mean anybody can intuitively figure that out, right? All right, I'm going to stop bitching. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, So I'm going to start up here, which would be the normal way to start, but in a grand tableau, you always want to start with the person card, but nice that it all lined up. So to have the military person coming through the house of Rider means that the direction that he's going, and he's right here, is that the rules and regulations of the state of New York will come down on him. He will have to bend to those rules. And the the point of the sword that is, pointing down this way is in the house of whip. So there's going to be a repetitive vision that that the rules and regulations will have. I'm thinking that with Great Water, Hope Great Water, this is also our card for foreign connections. So here are the rules and regulations, and then there's something to do with foreign connections, and the whip house is besides something repetitive that repeats, that stirs things up. It's also the card or the house and card of abuse. So the combined meanings here have to do with abuse and some foreign connections that's going to come through. Like that's interesting. I'd forgotten about that, but yeah, that's where. Remember way back when Eric said we don't need money from these people. We get lots of money from Russia. God. Okay, so let's stick with Trump up here. He's in the house of Clover, which would be. It could be opportunities, but I also read it as risk. And I also read the Clover card as 2 issues, right? The ship house has to do with, again, transactions, like a person's ability to be an entrepreneur, manure in his case, and again, foreign lands. And then here we have the marriage card. So this tells me that, in the Kipper, this is partnerships. So it's rules and regulations for him and his business partnerships. And then, of course, the court card coming in the house. So the house card for Trump, or house, the house of the house for Trump, has to do with his family, his assets, his real estate, his, the foundation of the way a person can build strength and money. So to have the court looking at all of those financial affairs, we could look at the house card or house as looking at as reminiscent or holding space for, is a better way to say it, holding space for Trump org, Trump, towers. Although the little tower card or the little tower, look at this, interesting. The tower house. So the tower house in the Lenormand, the tower card and house, has the meaning of tall buildings, and so does this Kipper card. And the institution of the way that rules and regulations come down there. It's like a governing. It would be, like having the Hierophant here in the rules and regulations of the government. And then, yeah, this is pretty interesting here. Okay, so his reputation, and see, these 2 cards are knighting together, like 2 down and 1 over, or 2 over and 1 down. So he will be seen. Now he does have some control being up here in the top row, but I don't know how good it will go for him. But anyway, he will be seen as a person, or Trump org himself will be seen as an institution. Well, and he as well. He's at risk. for his reputation. He's at risk for the institution of any government, but in this case, I just have to remember that it's New York. So the state of New York's rules and regulations will decide, there'll be a good outcome, good decision that's going to whack him, through payment, for it'll go well for the state of New York because of the way these cards lined up here. That's interesting. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and go with the four corners to frame everything in, but then I'm going to come back over here. So his house, we have the convene card. So the convene card in this, it's called convene in this deck. I think in the other deck it's meetings or something, or I forget. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. The meaning of this card is teamwork and meetings. So there's the teamwork that worked for Trump. There are rules and regulations around that, and it's official with this card up here that he is going to have a very big, surprising, outcome, and his great fortune will be under the burden with a cross here because he's guilty. This is a house of incredible self-responsibility that needs to be, taken. It's our cross to bear. It's our karma, and it knights up here to the the fatality coffin card. So the change for him will be a very painful loss because it's in the stork house. And with the cross house here having the great fortune card, it's really hard to mess up this card. But the only way to do it is to have negative cards around it or to have it in a negative house. And we have both here. Okay? Yeah. Man. And he doesn't want to pay out this money. I mean, is he even going to? Well, I imagine they'd get in line behind the IRS, but by the time they get done with this guy, between all these lawsuits, it's like he's not going to have anything left. No wonder he needs to keep grifting. So, okay, let's continue on here. So, with this 9-box piece here, his abusive connections with overseas, money laundering and foreign, his foreign connections, which we need tougher laws against, but and then again, they differ state by state. We need tougher federal laws coming in, and maybe they're working on things like that. I'm sure that I can't imagine that they're not, because it really is a problem when it comes to money laundering and human trafficking, right? So anyway, with this 9-box here, he's at the head, he's at the top, and there are all these connections that show his developing plans that he's been doing for so long, and it goes like back and forth. He's talking, always communicating it. There may be some audio recordings or video depositions that reveal how he had been developing these plans for a very long time in order to get what he wanted and always harvest some type of a good outcome for himself and his partnerships. It's like the whole Trump org situation here. But with this column here, we have social media, the house of social media, and his down patch. This is like the card where it's the ill health, in the other deck, where a person's just leveled and they're laying down flat. there is, just like I was saying with the birds and the garden house, these cards are showing to me that there is a tremendous amount of information out in social media that supports this case. And then, of course, she has the documents themselves. So here we have the letter card, which would represent all the documents. And that's the proof that the court has, right? A large amount. That's been her vision all along. And so this whole reading is, it's how it's going to go for him, but it involves Letitia James. And is it Judge Mershon? Is that the one? Is that the judge that's on this case? Oh, I can't remember. You guys are going to have to help me out with that one. But anyway, Melania landed down here in the House of Fish, just floating away probably. Yeah. So, but anyway, so the woman card is not Letitia James. It has to be Melania, because that's, they're a couple. But Letitia James is all over this reading, and I'm seeing it here where she's been developing the development over a long period of time. Well, it's been about a year, I guess, right? And the trial will take months, so it could be that it's 2 years of bringing through all these documents and new documents all the time, new documents that keep revealing what, his interaction with the public, his interaction with the state of New York, and how his reputation is under the scrutiny of the state law of New York, of course. Yeah, man. But I think she's also, if I remember reading that she had asked the New York Supreme Court to bar Trump. So let's look at this right here, because I feel complete there. To bar Trump, so this would be our restriction card, to bar him and it's in the House of Thievery. The mice in the Lenormand, they steal. They leave little poops behind. That's his breadcrumb trail, of documents. She has all the documents in her possession. She's strong there. But anyway, she's trying to get him from being, or Trump org, and also, Donald Jump, or what's his name, Don Jr., and Ivanka and Eric, even though Ivanka is not under any problem with this, but they can all be barred from serving on any type of creating any company and serving like on a board in New York, to keep them from acquiring any more real estate. And look how these cards knight together, right? Mice has to do with minimizing. The prison card came through with restriction. And so these two knighting together, the court will rule, after the trial is all done, the court will rule that the entire family, the tree house is the family tree, right? Their DNA, it's their, my goodness, it's everything. It's the system of their business, it's their, the way it works, right? And their karma, most of all, and their karma is to be seen as thieves. This would be Don Jr. and Eric in the House of Fox, that shows that they have manipulated things to their benefit, and that was their work. Whoa, look at this. Yeah, it's so the great questions that Amy had to do with if they would lose all their business abilities, and I would say yes. The painful loss card right here in the House of Stork has to do with, because the Stork is all about improvements and progress, but there's an end to their improvement and progress. Now the Good Lady card here, this could be Letitia James because she's in the House of Dog, and Dog is the helper, the protector. Yeah. The House of Snake, which is what would bite them in the butt, is going through change, and the change is headed this way for the work, the money, power, and protection that they have, and both of the boys, or adult jerks, I should call them, because that's what they are. They love to hunt big game, actually have tranq guns shot at big game, and then shoot it, and then act like they're the big men. That's how sick these guys are. Man. Okay, so let's see. I feel like sticking here for a second. So, well, actually, we need to come down a little further too. You know what I should do? Let's go. No, because I didn't set any time frame on this. I was thinking it could go like month by month, but no. I think we should follow through the columns though. So just to finish up these rows, this one's complete, but this one with Trump and his abuse with overseas partnerships, I will level him. He will be leveled, and his interaction to be able to do that anymore will be leveled. And Melania's house has her going, uh-oh, you know. This is also a card of surveillance. This could be Melania being watched, Melania feeling helpless. Melania's just waiting and can't really do anything about it. To finish up this column here, again, his marriage to these overseas contacts that's been developed for such a long time, and the communications that will come out about that. There are more gifts to come through are blocked because the gift card landed in the House of Mountain. So there's obstacles there. It's also a house of hidden enemies. So all the ways that he has collected monies in the past are on display after this trial or during this trial. And it will all, that's the thing, as these trials go, everything that comes through with the trial is a part of public record, and those records can be used in conjunction with the impending cases furthering on. So, you know, even E. Jean Carroll's defamation case that happens in January next year, and his pyramid scheme case, which was, oh my goodness, it was the audio phone case or something. That's happening in January. And then, of course, later on, like I think March, it's set for March, but it's not confirmed. It's on the docket, I guess, for his hush money case, you know, Stormy Daniels, that's Alvin Bragg's, that's coming up. So anything that comes out in this case can be used, any information as it's made public can be used, I believe, in all the other cases. I believe, well, once something's public, of course, yeah, there's no question about that. Okay, but finishing off down here, the gifts will continue to come out that will block him, and it will help with all the other cases. And when it comes to his mind, his old age, and his peace and harmony, he's going to be like the little kid that wants to just be under the covers. That's how I'm reading that. In this column here, we have his new information that continues to come out, documents that actually support her court case, and there are going to be a lot. The path card in the Lenormand is all about a lot of things and different ways things could go, and there's some support. This is probably the judge. Well, no, wait, actually, the judge would be up here. Oh, yeah, so he sees the big picture. Yeah. But this could be some other supportive. Oh, you know what? This could be documents that come out. Yeah, of course. This has to be Weisselberg because he did go to prison, and he was the one that did all the books and had the strategy, and he's now really, really sad. He's very sorry about that commitment that he made, that alliance that he had with Trump. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think more secrets are going to come out about that. Wow. Yeah, this is so interesting because we can read this way, and we can read this way, and we can read the diagonals. Like, it could be here for a long time. And I'm going to keep my hands away at certain points so that you guys, if anybody out there wants to take a screenshot and get what you get out of it and put it in the comments, because I know so many of my members, the ones that have the lessons, they can read the cards just like I do because I taught them. Those videos are there for them to, tap into over and over and over again. And they're good. They're good at what they do. So feel free to, because the more sets of eyes, that we have on this spread, the more information we'll get. But, okay, so that column feels complete. This is Alan Weisselberg revealing the lies and the cheating, okay, and the strategy, because these cards knight together. And Weisselberg himself and Trump, neither of them are doing well at all. This was a big setback for him. And Weisselberg, I'm sure, felt humiliated about that. Yeah. Right. But, he had his own thing. He was tapping into the company itself. They were, well, that's the thing, he had all types of perks. That's the reason he got locked up was, well, not only because there was probably a third and fourth set of books, third, fourth, fifth. There had to have been so many different sets of books, right? Like one for if you want to get a loan, one for if you want to apply for insurance and your properties are valued this when they're not, So, man, wow. Okay, this column here, I've already gone through that. This is the family thieving constantly. Even though this is Ivanka, she's in the House of Clouds. She doesn't, she's not having as much restriction because, of course, that statute of limitations that ran out. But the boys, the creeps, they have restriction. Their soul journey is for the moon card I see as a person's reputation, but also family, and also, whether a person is sane. It can also be a card of addiction. And yeah, there they are. And they're moving in this direction. The soul journey that they're all on, the whole family is on, goes this way, right? So their strategy will be investigated, will be seen, all the connections will be made, and it will affect their inner circle of friends, not just, look at this line right here, not just the family, but it is the family, very, very, very painful loss and ending for the family. And then, of course, the investigation at some point will end any improvement for Trump.org itself. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, that's, I'm going to, well, Ivanka has some power and control because of her work. She had some better strategy. She got herself away out of the company. She divested her job. She did the smart thing in the beginning. Yeah. And the solution to seeing everything that's the key that opens the door, to the restrictions, and like if we look at this line here, again, all of his business partnerships, the documents are there. This will restrict him to no end, and Trump org as well, because Trump org is here. And it's leveled. It will be leveled. Any monies that come in will be blocked because Letitia James, didn't she already have a master controller put on the company? And so all transactions. Why is Melania in the house of transactions? Yeah, I don't know about that. But all transactions were under this master controller, and they had to pay for that too. God. Okay, so this line. No, wait, where was I? I was here. It's this line that I want to pay attention to. So the the transactions, because it's the ship, house, of the business partners, of everyone involved, all partnerships involved, there are documents to back that up, and that's what will restrict the thieving from happening anymore, and that's the important discovery. And it has to do also with money that was given. There's a key, there will be important discovery as to how money came in, or like wire transfers and where the money came from. And then this line up here, again, is the rut-row, we don't want this type of thing, and it's just surprising, and more keeps coming through, and it's fatal to the improvement of the company, or the ability for the company to get away. The stork flies away. Not with this card here. No flying away, no getting out from under it. And it's all their allies are, whoa, we don't want this, and because it reveals where money comes from. So this is going to be a big trial, whether or not, it's not criminal, but it's going to reveal the way monies have circulated within Trump org and where they came from. Yeah, and then notice these cards knighting together. Now the win-lots card is there's only 4 money cards. Well, that's a lot actually. There are 4 money cards in the deck, and 2 of them knight together here. So this one has to do with like money that you don't. Both of these have to do with like money that you risk for. You'll take a risk to get. And he's in that house of clover of risk, right? And this is his business partners as well. And it's documented, but it's secret. It was secret. It's going to be documented and revealed because this card landed in the key house. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so that's, I think, 3 or 4 times I'm getting that same message about the monies coming out from overseas or other countries or foreign people. Yeah, wow. Okay, so that feels complete there. Let's go with the people that we're asking about. So Trump has documents and new ones that probably will come out. Trump's documents are the problem with his, because it's in the House of Tower here. I'm instead of saying all the cards in the houses, I'm just going to start with the messages, okay? Otherwise this goes forever, and it's probably confusing for some people. So Trump and his reputation and the rules and regulations of New York State is what's going to get him because of the documents. There are documents to prove everything. Trump has been developing these plans for a long, long time. And again, with Weisselberg, there's that soul journey he was on. And we already did this line up here. And it's not just Weisselberg, it's everyone involved in all these investigations will tie together. Ivanka is under restriction and will be restricted from New York State. So will both of the sons. And the sons especially are get it the worst because they were in charge. And Trump already threw Eric under the bus. They will be blocked. The sons, and I think I said this already, but the sons will be blocked from being able to have a charity or any type of foundation. They already had been before. So I guess this is just reiterating some of the past. Because, the past creates the future. So this is another time they're slapped on the wrist. So definitely they're stopped. Yeah. And Eric, I'm getting mostly Eric is the key to where the monies came through. And he is he will be investigated the most for all the connections. That's interesting. Okay. So that feels clear there. Let's just focus on over here because this is pretty much like my future section over here. And so Melania, she's sad about the alliance, or she's sorry about the alliance. Things are falling apart for her. But she's looking for, this is behind her. No more fortune, no more good fortune with the guy she hooked up with. Right? She's literally stuck in Trump as well. They're all stuck in this hard, heavy place of pessimism, crisis. This little card, this gloomy thoughts, is like the Tower card in the tarot. So the Tower card is behind her. Crisis, destruction. With Trump, it's like OCDs and mental illness. That's all behind her, and she's tired of it. And she's going to some place that could give her more, and of course she's headed up there as well. Back to the sun. So the sun house is all about success and something that's revealed. Everything that's revealed, everything will be revealed as to their dishonesty and their lies, and that's the soul journey that they're all on. Okay, that feels done there. I haven't addressed that column there, and this one, yeah, that's done. So again, to have subpoenas and bad news come through, the gifts that keep on coming, that Letitia James will continue to bring through, will end him, and they will be accountable for the work that they did. This is Don Jr. and Eric, and it's all documented. And she's been working on it for such a long time. And again, with the foreign abuse, and she will have a very, very, because this is Letitia James looking this way, she will have a very, very good outcome for the state of New York. Okay, and then she has the documents, and a lot of them. The house card in this situation, I think, could be the Supreme Court of the state of New York. And they will win as the evidence comes out, and because of the laws that are on the books, as that book opens, there will be more and more for her to sink them. And yeah, their good fortune is no more. So I feel pretty complete, but I'm sure that you could do more. Just reading the rows across this way, but I feel like I've already kind of connected all those dots. So I'm just going to get this uploaded and let you guys help me out with the rest of it. Okay, bye.